Fellas, if you want a real, lasting relationship, you need to know how to spot the wrong woman fast. There are 4 dangerous red flags that will wreck your confidence, drain your energy, and waste your time. If she has any of these, run. No excuses. Let's break it down. Inflexibility in a woman is one of the biggest signs that you are dealing with someone who will make your life difficult rather than enrich it. When a woman is unable or unwilling to adapt to changes, compromise, or consider the needs of a partner, you will find yourself constantly fighting against a rigid system of expectations. Inflexibility manifests in several ways, including an insistence on control over every aspect of a relationship, an unwillingness to adjust to the natural flow of life, and a resistance to compromise. This type of woman often structures her life in a way that revolves around her own convenience. She has an idea of how things should be and refuses to consider that there might be different or even better ways to do things. You will see it in how she schedules her time. If she refuses to adjust her plans for you but expects you to rearrange your life for her, that's a problem. If she has a strict set of dating rules and refuses to go beyond them, even when circumstances make flexibility reasonable, she is not someone who is looking for a partnership. Many times, inflexible women come from a place of fear. If she has been hurt in the past, she may feel the need to control everything in her new relationships to avoid future pain. However, fear-driven relationships do not thrive. If someone is so closed off to change that they would rather let a relationship die than adjust to their partner's needs, you are dealing with someone who is not emotionally available for a serious, healthy relationship. Another major red flag is a woman who carries unresolved bitterness from past relationships and projects it onto you. We all have pasts, and we all have experiences that shape the way we view relationships. But when a woman enters a new relationship with lingering resentment toward men as a whole, she is not emotionally ready for a healthy partnership. This bitterness presents itself in several ways. First, there are the negative generalizations. If she frequently says things like, "All men are selfish," "Men only care about one thing," or "Men can't be trusted," you are dealing with someone who has let past negative experiences shape her overall worldview. This is a problem because it means she does not see you as an individual. She sees you as a representative of every man who has ever wronged her. No matter how well you treat her, she will always be suspicious of your motives. Another sign of unresolved bitterness is when she frequently brings up her exes and speaks about them in a highly negative way. If a woman constantly talks about how terrible her past relationships were, that's not just a sign that she's been with bad men, it's also a sign that she has not moved on. Worse, she may still be living in the mindset of a victim, which means she is carrying emotional baggage into your relationship that will eventually weigh it down. Women who harbor resentment toward men often dismiss or diminish genuine acts of kindness. If you bring her flowers, she might say you're just trying to manipulate her. If you pay for dinner, she may accuse you of expecting something in return. If she automatically assumes the worst in you, even when you have done nothing but show good intentions, she is projecting the pain from past relationships onto the present. This kind of mindset is toxic because it means you will constantly be fighting for a level of trust and appreciation that should come naturally in a healthy relationship. You do not want to spend your time proving to someone that you aren't like the men who hurt her. A woman who has truly healed from her past relationships will not see every new man as a potential threat. She will recognize good qualities, appreciate kindness, and give trust where it is deserved. Another red flag that men often overlook is when a woman is overeager for commitment. While a woman who knows what she wants can be attractive, a woman who rushes into commitment too quickly is often driven by insecurity rather than genuine connection. The difference between a woman who values commitment and a woman who is desperate for it is the speed at which she tries to lock you down. A woman who is overeager for commitment may start talking about exclusivity, future plans, or even marriage within just a few weeks of dating. She may try to establish labels far too early, pushing for a commitment before you've even had time to truly understand who she is as a person. This is often driven by a fear of being alone, rather than a genuine bond with you specifically. A key danger of rushing into commitment is that it can blind you to red flags that you would otherwise notice. If a woman is pushing for a serious relationship before you've had time to see how she handles stress, conflict, or differences in opinion, she is creating a relationship dynamic that is based more on fantasy than reality. Real relationships take time to develop. They require experiences that test compatibility, communication, and long-term potential. When a woman rushes commitment, she is often trying to fill an emotional void. Maybe she just got out of a relationship and is trying to replace what she lost. Maybe she is deeply insecure and feels validation only when she is in a committed relationship. Maybe she has been single for a long time and is desperate to change that status, regardless of whether the relationship is truly the right fit. You will notice that a woman who is too eager for commitment may ignore clear incompatibilities just to move the relationship forward. If she overlooks major differences in values, lifestyle, or long-term goals, she is not thinking about what's best for both of you. She's thinking about how quickly she can secure a relationship title. This kind of urgency does not lead to a stable, fulfilling partnership. A relationship should feel like a natural progression. If a woman is genuinely compatible with you, commitment will happen organically as you get to know each other and build trust over time. But if she is pushing for commitment before you even feel ready, take it as a sign that she is prioritizing the status of a relationship over the actual connection itself. One of the most damaging red flags in a woman is emotional unavailability disguised as excessive independence. Independence is attractive. A woman who has her own ambitions, passions, and goals can be a great partner. However, when a woman uses independence as a wall to keep men at a distance, it becomes a serious issue in relationships. A woman who is emotionally unavailable will avoid deep conversations, keep things surface level, and refuse to let you into her emotional world. She may say things like, "I don't need a man," or "I'm fine on my own," as a way of protecting herself from vulnerability. While independence is a great quality, a woman who refuses to acknowledge any need for emotional support in a relationship is not truly interested in intimacy. You will see this when she rejects acts of kindness, even small ones. If you try to help her carry something heavy, she refuses. If you offer to do something thoughtful for her, she brushes it off. She insists on doing everything herself, even when it would make more sense to accept help. This is not a sign of strength. It is a sign of emotional walls that she refuses to let down. Women who use independence as a shield often do so because they have been hurt in the past. They believe that being too vulnerable will lead to pain, so they keep a safe emotional distance. The problem with this is that relationships require vulnerability. If she is not willing to open up emotionally, there will always be a barrier between you that prevents real intimacy. A woman who is excessively independent may also sabotage relationships without realizing it. She may create distance where there should be closeness, push away affection when she actually wants it, and convince herself that relationships are not worth the risk of emotional pain. If you are with a woman who keeps you at arm's length emotionally, understand that no amount of effort on your part will change her until she decides to change herself. Real relationships require emotional availability, mutual compromise, and a willingness to embrace both vulnerability and commitment. A woman who is too rigid, bitter, desperate for commitment, or emotionally unavailable will make a relationship feel like a battle instead of a partnership. The key is recognizing these red flags early so that you can invest in a relationship that is truly fulfilling and built on genuine connection.